everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back. If this is your 11th Season 3 episode review for The Rookie, if I'm sounding a little down right now, it's because, once again, this is not the way I was supposed to be demonstrating this episode review to you, because I had actually recorded everything. It was recorded, then I check the audio levels. I sound like a goddamn chipmunk. Because I accidentally pushed a wire on my camera, which, in order to get the camera fixed, I accidentally loosened the microphone connection, which made me sound like a chipmunk. So this is my second take on the episode review, so if I have to expedite the process because I'm still damn tired, because I'm recording this at 12:30 at night. But anyway, this week's episode, I really did dig it. I did a lot. I don't believe it was the strongest yet, but I do believe that it was a pretty good one despite balancing so many different storylines. Once again, messing with our expectations, but for a good overall conclusion of things, and definitely sets us a more definite, different world for the Rookie. As I don't know how to say it, it's something a little bit different, but it's also still similar. I'm losing my mind here. Let's just go through the butcher recap and talk about this episode. We begin at the station where we are welcoming in our new rookies. That's right. It's that time of the year again. We're getting new rookies. This time only 2 of them. I don't remember their names, but their faces look so freaking familiar. I could have looked it up in between these sessions, but guess what? I am tired, so I did not. But they look very recognizable. And Nolan, Chen, and Wes are welcoming them into the station as they're technically the last wave of rookies that came in, so they're just trying to welcome in the new wave. So we head into the bullpen meeting, which I'm loving that we're getting again, even though COVID-19 is still being a dick to us, but still very much appreciated. The new rookies give their introductions, and while the first one, I don't remember their names, to be honest with you, for the love of God, but the woman, the female, the woman rookie, sorry about that, I'm just very out of it. She does pretty well in her introduction, straightforward, simple, straight to the point. As for the other dude, he shoots his gun in the middle of the station. Oh my god. Yeah, not to no surprise, he got fired. Like, not even an hour officially into his shift, and he gets fired. Damn. And plus, I'm assuming there was no real, like, TO, for instance. Again, we're down to TO, and, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And the other one's going for Bradford. Harper still has Nolan, so not that many good choices. But anyway, so picking up on that, even while the other rookie that got fired is leaving, Nolan runs into his son Henry and his fiance, who are just arriving into Cali to start Henry's new job at Ben's nonprofit organization. And Nolan is trying to be happy for his son, even though he's still not 100% on board with the idea, considering the fact he had to drop out of college for this job. But regardless of that, he seems to be putting his best foot forward and still managing to put himself, and even having to invite them over for dinner at some point later in the week. So then we begin through the multitude of storylines for this week. So I apologize if I don't do like the best straightforward job. / this is my second run through of it. God, I hate audio issues. But anyway, so the next thing I believe we get is Bradford with his new boot. And it's been weird. It's weird to see this since we're so used to Bradford and Shen's dynamic in the streets, in the car. And this new one actually is getting on Bradford's good side right away. You know, she's an ex-military, so she has the kind of like the brass and like the knowledge that really does impress Bradford enough to kind of like give her a little bit of different treatment than what he gave the Chen back in season 1. At the start of her rookie career, and it's weird. Like I love the Bradford Chen dynamic for so long that it's still very weird to see that to see something different. Also, sorry, I'm just trying to get something to cover up my eye. Where was I? Oh yeah. So meanwhile, on the other side of the thing, Diaz and Wesley are still planning their wedding. They're still doing very much that. And once again, Wesley's mom being very much of an annoying, stubborn person. So they are basically assuring they're not going to get anything done for this wedding. So they have to rely on someone who could mediate the situation, as well as probably give Wesley and Diaz a fighting chance to have the wedding they want. And they call in the man of honor, Tim, but of course that's later on. We're getting too far ahead of ourselves right here. Where do we go next? There's just so many storylines. Oh yeah, Nolan's professor comes into the station to see Gray to let him know that there's been some suspicious followings towards her, like some stalkers, weird texts, weird phone calls coming in. So Gray decides to assign her a unit, which turns out to just be Nolan and Harper, to just kind of keep an eye on her for the day, making sure that nothing bad happens to her, that sort of thing. So she heads up to do that. Well, they head off to do that. Chen and Wes catch up with Chen's mentee, the girl she took in, who is about to turn 18, has a place lined up for her own independence sake. And basically, it seems like her life is going upwards, and that's great. It seems like Chen is really making a positive influence on her. But, however, her positive happiness turns into a little bit of a downward spiral when she sees Bradford being also nice to his new boot, comparing to the first day that she got. Her first day is not what Chen was expecting, which is kind of pissing off Chen just quite a bit. We then move on to Nolan and Harper watching over Nolan's professor at yoga class, and then the neighborhood dude from the neighborhood subplot that we've been getting for the past season randomly shows up, greets Harper and Nolan, but is mostly interested in Harper since, he does have a crush on her. So he's really happy to see her, really happy. However, their conversation cuts short as some weird dude is taking pictures of Nolan's professor from a distance. Everyone kind of convenes on him, and even though that technically, yes, he does look like a very suspicious person and stuff like that, Harper was about to take the camera away from him to kind of have this evidence to prove that he is stalking her. Despite the current situation, even Nolan's professor tells Nolan and Harper, hey, he has rights. You can't take his, sorry about the mic. You can't take his property without a warrant, and even the neighborhood guy even joins in to back her up. So, although they didn't take the camera, they managed to detain him and take him to jail, and take him to the station so that they can properly question him. Where do we go? Damn, this is so difficult as I'm trying to remember where the heck do we go from here. They take him to, that's later on. Damn. Oh yeah, so I forgot. Bradford is teaching his new boot the rules, the style of things, but she's kind of still stuck in that military mindset of the, everything's a war zone type thing, and Bradford's telling her, like, you need to transition out of that. You can't have that mentality while you're out on the streets because you're not in a war zone anymore. She was in the war of Afghanistan, so she's not there anymore. She's different. She's a cop now, so she has to get out of that mindset. They get a call in about a second-degree burglary in progress, so the two respond to it. Again, she impresses Bradford over her military expertise by giving him a pretty good strategy how to take down the robbers, which shortly they engage into a firefight, and then once again she even impresses him even more by ricocheting a shotgun round into someone's foot, while Chen and Wes show up for backup to take out the other dude. And again, this new girl, the new boot, very much impressing Bradford, very much. It's starting to really piss off Chen. It really is. And I believe, back at the station, Nolan wraps up interrogating the creepy dude who reveals that he was a student of his professor's class long ago, who also he got an F from her, and now his priority is to make her fall in love with him. Which I don't understand the transition point, but whatever, to each their own. So Nolan lets her go so that, not assuming that she's a little bit safe there, even with a temporary restraining order with him. Sorry, my throat is ever so dry today. Where do we go? There's too many storylines. That's my only issue with this episode. Because my brain's firing off on all cylinders. I'm going to go for the wedding stuff first. So Tim shows up to be the man of honor for Diaz at hers and Wesley's home. And he's basically the mediator between them and Wesley's mother. And it's actually pretty funny on how much Bradford does not want to be there at all. But he has to do it for Diaz's sake. And even though it seems like negotiations are ever so slightly moving slowly. The mother has enough of it, and just communicates directly to Diaz and Wesley, saying that the reason why that she's been really, really involved in the wedding planning process is because she's got nothing else going on. Like, there's nothing in her life that she has worth doing. Plus, she assumes that since Wesley and Diaz are also focused on their careers and also with an upcoming baby, that they probably don't even have time to plan the wedding. So she's been trying to take the burden off. But after some one-on-one time between mother and future daughter-in-law, it seems like there's been a mutual agreement that, like, it's understandable her position, but again, it is not her wedding, so she's gonna have to let Diaz and Wesley do their own thing, because it is fair for them to do that. Meanwhile, Chen gets a call while she's at home from her mentoree that, hey, I'm being kicked out of my house because my cousin was, getting drunk and getting angry at me, so can you come pick me up? So Chen immediately heads over there while she witnesses her fellow mentally basically getting kicked out without even getting her stuff back. But Chen manages to come in and kind of forces him to give her stuff back, which is actually quite ironic and kind of had an eerie deja vu feeling for me, because if you remember last week's episode review, I had to do half the normal style of recording a review, as well as the camera version I implemented for Walker and Nancy Drew last month. And so what happened was, I'll give a little bit more backstory on this, is that I had a friend call me in the middle of recording, basically telling me that, like, oh, hey, I got kicked out of my house. Can I get some help here? And, I was kind of like focusing on that a little bit. So that brief moment of like trying to help someone and trying to like, get them to somewhere safe, I kind of understood that. So this was kind of really been deja vu for me. So with that being said, Chan invites her to move into her house while, her place is getting, all fixed up, because apparently some inspectors came by and, just said like, yeah, there's some things you need to fix before you can properly move in here, which is fair. And thankfully Chen calls her family, as well as like kind of like her little sister of sorts, which made me feel a little bad, because again, if you remember from last week, Chen's parents are still not supporting of her career to be a police officer. So she kind of has no real family right now, and this young woman is basically the sister she never had. So she's looking out for her. So why not? It makes sense, and I like it. I like that dynamic a lot. Moving on back to the main storyline, Nolan is taking it upon himself to survey his professor, since after a class between the two of them earlier in the night, she got a threatening phone call and then threatening messages that also revealed that whoever's been harassing her has leaked all of her information on the web, which is a big no-no for someone who's like fighting out for changes in in the world. So not a good thing. So Nolan's waiting outside her house and is trying to protect her, but she doesn't want his protection. She can handle things herself, that sort of thing. But later on, she just sees that Nolan's just trying to be a good person, and she sees that for him now. The two even have like a brief good one-on-one moment before Nolan begins telling her about his problems with Henry and stuff like that, with everything that's going on with him. We cut to the next morning where Nolan is just making sure she's having a safe morning commute. And again, I don't know how Nolan can stay up the entire night on top of doing a regular work shift. I still don't know how he does it. The man continues to impress me each and every week. So they're heading out to somewhere, and then Nolan notices these like mysterious vans pulling up against his professor's car, realizing that they're part of some white supremacy group. Nolan pages in for backup, as well as letting his professor know that she's being trailed. So in order to circumvent the threat, Nolan rear ends one of the dudes and faking that he's like a confused driver, but manages to subdue one of them before the other ones notice what's going on and begin a gunfight with Nolan. The professor tries to escape during the gunfight, but another car pulls in up front, blocking her way in. And but thankfully, by the time Chen and West show up to provide for backup, Bradford and his new boot get the call as well. But she decides to employ like a much more sneakier approach to kind of get the drop on them via an alleyway, which again continues to impress Bradford even more so. The gunfight ensues. The professor decides to escape her car, hides under it so she can get away from the the shooters, but one of them manages to notice her, and they begin a chase scene while Nolan's wrapping up the other two. But between him and Chen and West, they manage to subdue the other two shooters, and Nolan goes after the third one, and thankfully manages to stop him with the help of Bradford and the new boot before he can catch his professor. So thankfully, everything's been safe and harm. Well, safe from harm. Sorry, throat's still out of whack here. Where do we go? We head back to the station. I believe Chen is having a one-on-one with Bradford about, Bradford's, decision to be more nicer to his new boot compared to what Chen was dealing with at the start of her TO program. But Bradford indicates that, look, you and her are two completely different people, so you need different approaches to handle them. Bradford saw in Chen goodness, but too much. She had to be more aware that there's a lot of more negativity in the world, and she has to be ready for that. For his new boot, she's been living through negativity and been dealing with that war zone mindset because she's been in war. She's been out there. Now he has to inject some peace and goodness in her to kind of bring her back. So that makes sense. It really does. It's kind of like two polar opposite things. But at the end of the day, Bradford's only trying to make the best cop out of them possible. So I appreciate what he's doing there. I believe, so also gives Chen a little bit of a happy smile that, Bradford still respects her and everything. Nolan lets out his professor to a much more secure private security detail, something like Secret Service or something like that, as well as giving her some advice that, hey, look, this trauma, this, experience you had, it's going to be a while before you can, shake it off and kind of, accept it fully into you, because it can change you. It can definitely affect you, and you need to learn how to live with it. Which is, once again, more wise, sage advice from old Officer Nolan. Then I believe... Damn, there's so much going on. My brain is being pushed to the absolute limit, especially after doing this a second time. I forgot. Bradford and the new boot are basically getting ready to get out there again. However, she tells him that after the experience she'd had in the past 2 days, she doesn't think she's ready to be out there and, ready to conform to this new world for herself, and that she needs to find some peace outside of being an officer. So she decides to resign. Bradford attempts to change her mind and say, look, I will help you transition. You don't need to leave. That doesn't need to happen. But she says, if she doesn't get out now, she may never get another opportunity to leave the violence behind, which she does make sense. Because the thing is with police officers, and I took a class about this, is you need to be balanced. You can't have an unstable mind, head of space when you're out there, because you carry a lot of position and a lot of authority. And if you don't know how to correctly balance that, then you could risk making a mistake that could severely hurt someone. So I think she made the right call here. And Bradford says your post certificate or something is good for 3 years. So you're more than welcome to come back within that time period. You'll always have a home here. So indicating that she might have a future, but we'll see how that goes. Also, I almost forgot this subplot. This is why I hate doing this. Harper agreed to help the neighborhood that she and Nolan and everyone else have been helping out with for a while now with a self-defense class. However, the neighborhood dude, when he printed out the flyers, put in the wrong date, so no one shows up for it, which severely makes him mad. But Howard says, you know what, I'm already here, I'm ready to fight, you and me fight. So we skip that hopefully hilarious fight scene, and the neighborhood dude decides to invite Harper out for dinner. But Harper brings up, hey, I just started seeing someone, but technically in the world of being specific, she's only went on a 1 date with him, so they're technically not a couple yet. So he manages to convince her give him a chance, at least 1 date as well, which Harper does agree to. Also, the survey guy, the one who's always taking notice of things, the kid from a few weeks ago, he makes an excellent wingman. I should hire him. And then we end at Nolan's house. He's prepping some dinner for Henry and his fiance. He wants to know everything about Henry's first days, but Henry feels a little bit out of it, assuming that he's just tired and whatever. However, not that too long later, he collapses on the floor. From what we don't know, Nolan goes off to help him while his Henry's fiance goes to call 911, as we are left with a cliffhanger for the week. And if it wasn't for the Oscars, we would know next week. So again, I really did enjoy this episode. I think it was a nice sneak peek of what a new rookies could potentially bring to the show. I'm happy we didn't get that just quite yet. I feel like there's still more to tell with this story, so I appreciate that. I did like it again that this episode kind of brought in so many of the storylines from this season into one episode, trying to advance them in their own rights, which I did respect. And considering how next episode is going to go, I don't think we'll have time to explore many other storylines. So it makes sense to keep us that back in our mind, like what's been going on, and sort of in that sort of thing. So I really do respect that. Yeah, I'm just curious to see where these characters go next now, especially will Henry survive? What's going on with him? Like, I can't wait to find out next time when we come back. And, yeah. So for me, I'm going to give this episode 1 3/4 thumbs up, and I think that's going to do it for me because I'm extremely tired. I'm sorry if I keep repeating that, but I really am. So if you're unaware, this has been What's on the Tube from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the third season of The Rookie. If you want to know what we're doing overall besides those reviews, we're doing Nancy Drew Season 2 episode reviews each and every Thursday morning after a brand new episode on Wednesday nights on the CW, or free the next day on the CW app. We're also doing Walker episode reviews each and every Friday morning after a brand new episode on Thursday nights on the CW, or free the next day on the CW app. That is on hiatus this week, so we will have a quick impressions of The Walking Dead World Beyond, which will conclude our Walking Dead trifecta trilogy, as well as I was supposed to do that one weeks ago, but I forgot, and I did Close Enough instead, so I apologize. But if you don't care about The Rookie, we will be back in 2 weeks because of the Oscars next week, so we're off for another brief hiatus. And also, just an update for you all, because if you are a long-term fan and you watch our quick impressions as well, here's the thing you need to know. Next week, for the first time in What's on the Tube history, none of our 3 reviewing shows are going to be airing new episodes. We're actually Rookie, Nancy Drew, and Walker are all on break next week. So instead of me producing 3 quick impressions, which I could easily do, that I have no issue with that, I'd rather take that time to do some other things. I've been doing What's on the Tube consecutively since January, which I've enjoyed doing so much, and I've been loved doing. And, I never take a break whenever we're doing show reviews. I never do. I just feel like, we've been doing so many reviews every week. We haven't missed a date. And I think next week would be beneficial for us to take a little bit of a break. Every show deserves a little time off. So I think it's our turn to do so. And also, we are prepping History of Total Drama right now as we speak, so that would be more additional time to focus on that for its May launch. So, yeah, so we will be back. Well, for Rookie fans only, nothing changes. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. But if you're overall, after this Friday's quick impression, we'll be taking a week off. So we'll be back with The Rookie the week afterwards. But again, if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more of us, subscribe to ActionX on YouTube.com. Ring that bell for notification when our next review is live, which is normally each and every Monday morning. Like, favorite, share this review if you want to. But it does help us get us out there to other members of the Rookie Nation who has yet to know about us. It helps us out with that algorithm that keeps confusing me, and as well as it's for free. Also follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of update for this channel, and let me know down in the comments below, what did you think of this week's episode of The Rookie? I'm always down for conversation down there below, so please shoot your shot there. I'll always reply. For all you members of the Rookie Nation, I'll see y'all in 2 weeks, but until then, stay safe out there, be good to each other, enjoy the Oscars, and peace out.